Hey everyone, I'm Crypto Kiwi and welcome to the Crypto Kiwi mining channel. You might ask yourself, well, who am I? Why would I create a crypto mining channel in November of 2022? And if you were going to, what kind of things would you talk about? Well, I think they're all great questions. So we'll get to that right after this. Welcome to the channel. Welcome back. I'm actually going to start by answering the last question first, which is, what are we going to talk about on this channel? Because if I was you watching me, that is what I would want to know about. So some of the things we're going to cover are going to be about the cost of energy and how to deal with that. I am putting in a $140,000 solar farm to my property. Yes, $140,000. I've done the financials and it makes sense because if you're a crypto miner like me, you know the cost of energy is very prohibitive in being profitable if you don't have a phenomenally good rate. So I have 10 cents per kilowatt now, which is pretty good. I'm in Texas, USA, power's pretty good, but I can go a whole nother level with my solar farm. So I'm gonna share everything related to that, the financials, the whole install, the setup, the configuring, what that looks like. So there's a lot there. Also, I have a 1,500 square foot shop on my property, and I'm gonna go through and build it out into a full crypto mining facility. So that's gonna be the actual power distribution, the cooling, the racking, everything. So, I mean, I think that's awesome. So I think there's a lot of great things there to share. I've also started to move into ASIC mining. So I bought a KA3 KDA miner. It arrives end of December, beginning of January. So I'm going to share everything about that with you too. The setup, the configuring, the profitability. So that's just 3 things to get you started in relation to what I'm going to talk about. From the perspective of creating the channel, well, probably you can see about some of the things I'm talking about that I think there's a lot of interest for you as a viewer and maybe a lot of value if you're thinking of doing the same thing yourself. Also though, from watching other YouTube content creators in crypto mining, I've noticed that the viewers leave some very helpful comments. And so I want to see this as more of a 2-way kind of communication too. I'm going to read the comments, and if you think what I'm doing is crazy or doesn't make sense, or when it comes to building out my shop, the way I'm thinking of doing things, if you have some comments, I'm gonna read those. And if you have a better idea, then by all means, I'm gonna follow that. So I'm looking forward to the feedback and the input that you can have for me on my journey. I am Crypto Kiwi. Why Crypto Kiwi? Well, I think the crypto bit is probably fairly straightforward, so no more explanation needed there. Kiwi. Well, what does that mean? Well, I'm originally from New Zealand, and people from New Zealand are known as, or referred to as, Kiwis. A kiwi is a native bird to New Zealand, and obviously there's also the kiwi fruit. So either way, being from New Zealand, I decided to call my channel Crypto Kiwi. So there you go. So watch out for a lot more content from me. I'm sure you've noticed all the boxes behind me. Well, I wanted to share with you how I went from 1 GPU to everything you see behind. Well, beginning of last year, which is 2021, I wanted to upgrade the GPU in my gaming computer. It was very hard to find a GPU at the time, and I ended up buying one off eBay and paying scalping prices just because my gaming performance was so bad and I really wanted an upgrade. But I wanted to look into why was it so hard to find a GPU and why couldn't I get one at retail price? I realized that crypto mining was part of that. And so I thought, let me explore that a little bit. So I downloaded NiceHash, started mining for a little while, found out that it was profitable. And then I thought, well, maybe I could try and buy a few more GPUs of my own. So I did. I paid scalper prices to start with, but really very quickly realized that that wasn't the way to go, long term and to be profitable and sustainable. So I looked into how I could find cards at a retail price. I've spent many a night outside Best Buy waiting for Founders Editions to be available in the stores. I'm fortunate enough that I live near a micro center. So I was out at micro center early in the mornings waiting for their lottery system and waiting to get cards. I've also been on the Newegg Shuffle, some of the Best Buys I managed to pick up. And so most of the cards I actually bought at MSRP through various methods. I've also branched out into CPU mining. So I have 7 dedicated CPU mining rigs. And I even got into the Chia for a while too. So I have 140 terabytes of storage that I use for Chia plotting. So fairly diverse, and now looking to get into ASICs. But that's a little snapshot. I'm going to go into more detail in another video of that whole journey and everything that I have today and what it's all doing. As my mining operation has grown, I originally started with a few cards just connected to my PC, to my first rig, to multiple rigs, and it's just growing. I've actually moved house a couple of times and bought a house a few months ago. And the house that I've bought now is far more suited to a much more permanent crypto mining operation. In the previous houses, I had rigs in the lounge, I had rigs all through the house. It wasn't workable long term. So part of the criteria for buying a new house was I wanted a shop. And this property has a 1,500 square foot shop. So I'm looking forward to showing you that. Also, I have 1.5 acres here. So I did mention that before, but it's going to help out hugely for a solar farm. So I really bought this new house, this new place, partly to make sure it would work for my crypto mining operation. So I'm bullish, I'm in this in the long term, and I'm setting up my mining operation. Lots going on here. If you made it this far, I want to thank you for watching my very first piece of YouTube content. Remember to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and we'll see you next time.